Hi, and welcome to Kaleidoscope. I'm Rachel Elliott, your host. Today we're here with Paul Pierce at this beautiful Springer Opera House. Now, Paul, tell us, where are you from?
Well, when people ask now, I say I'm from Columbus, Georgia, but I grew up in Rome, Georgia, and went to school at the University of Georgia. That's where I got my theater training and theater degree. And then I lived all around the country and toured and lived in different states nationwide. And in 1988, I ended up back in Georgia as the director of this beautiful State Theater of Georgia.
Yes, it is. Well, did you apply as director? Did you start out as an actor here? I mean, how did that metamorphosis?
Well, no, I had been directors of other theaters around the country. I was the director of the Wayside Theater in the Shenandoah Valley, the Harbor Playhouse in Corpus Christi, Texas, and I was associate artistic director of the Repertory Theater of America. And when the Springer position came open, the artistic director position, they found me and asked me if I would consider applying for the job. And I said, there are jobs in Georgia? And they said, yes, there's at least one job. And I applied for it and eventually was hired.
Wow. And you haven't looked back?
Well, I couldn't look back. I've been too busy. We're doing 13 shows a year here, wow. 6 on our main stage, 3 in our children's theater series, 3 in our studio series, and we have a national touring company. We have, in fact, a national tour of the Marvelous Wonderettes that's on the road right now.
Wow, that's great. 25 years.
25 years, about 300 productions in all. I don't remember them all. Sometimes I don't remember the actors who were in them. They walk up to me and say, hey, I was in your show in 1992. We had such a great time. And sometimes I have to say, now who are you? Just kidding. I remember every last one of those productions, and this is such a wonderful theater to be performing and producing in, and this audience is the greatest in the world.
And your favorite production?
I can't really say what my favorite production was, although at different times in my life I look back fondly at many of them. We did the Broadway musical Ragtime about 8 years ago, and I loved that and was very, very proud of that. And actually right now, the show that's exciting me the most is the one we've got on stage right now called Yesterday and Today. It's an interactive Beatles experience, and it has a depth and a uniqueness that you're just not going to find in other shows, particularly musicals. You've got the Beatles shows where right. They put on the wigs and they put on fake Liverpool accents and things like that. That's not what this show is. There's something more here. And these musicians have mastered note for note, vocal for vocal, harmony for harmony, every single song in the Beatles catalog, and the spirit in which they perform these songs is unlike anything you'll ever see again. What's happening right here on this stage right now is absolutely remarkable. The show is running for 2 more weeks, and anyone can buy tickets at the Springer box office, 706-327-3688, or going to the Springer website at springeroperahouse.org and clicking on the ticket link.
It's going to be a great show.
It's already a great show. We had 3 performances this past week, and folks were dancing in the aisles, dancing in the stalls here, and it's an absolutely beautiful, very moving, exciting experience. One of the things that I've been saying about this show is as I've gotten to know the McGuigan brothers and the whole band and listening to this music night after night, is that this is really a living cultural treasure. In Japan, they have an institution called Living National Treasure, and it's about preserving precious cultural assets. And this show right here, these musicians have preserved a precious cultural asset in a living way but the way it's performed is so moving and so joyful that it causes the imagination to fly with memories and experiences, and there's a connection between the audience and the stage that's completely unique.
Right. Well, I do volunteer work at the Little White House, and we call that living history. You're preserving it, you're performing it, you're passing it on, and you're creating interest for those that don't know about it. So.
That's exactly right. The cool thing for me is that these musicians did not know the Beatles firsthand in terms of Beatlemania and the development of the Beatles, and then with the breakup, but through their father who taught them this music. They had Beatles nights. They'll tell you all about it when you interview them, but they learned the love of the Beatles through their father because he was a musician and a Beatles fan, and it's reverberated through their generation and through their children as well. One of the beautiful, beautiful things about the Beatles is that it transcends generations and it has new life constantly, constantly, as new fans and younger audiences discover it.
Now, I have a 17-year-old son that likes the Beatles.
Fabulous.
So it just keeps on going.
We look forward to him and you being at the show this weekend.
Oh, that's something to think about.
Think about. I look forward to seeing you there.
We've got quite a music community here in Columbus, so I would imagine that a lot of them are turning out.
Absolutely.
Any feedback from our local music community?
Well, if you go by the feedback in the performances where 600 people are on their feet screaming and dancing in the aisles, that's pretty good feedback.
That's really good feedback.
Yeah.
All right, and we'll hear some music from the actual performers here in a bit.
We have a couple of musicians ready to perform for you.
That's great. We'll be back with more Kaleidoscope after these messages.
1, 2, 3, 4. One day you'll look to see I've gone, for tomorrow may rain, so I'll follow the sun. Someday you'll know I was the one, but tomorrow may rain, so I'll follow the sun. And now the time has come, and so my love I must go. And though I lose a friend, in the end you will know. Oh, one day you'll look to see I've gone, but tomorrow may rain, so I'll follow the sun. Tomorrow may rain, so I'll follow the sun. And now the time has come, and so my love I must go. And though I lose a friend, in the end you will know. Oh, one day you'll look to see I've gone, but tomorrow may rain, so I'll follow the sun.
Hello, my name is Stephen Gregg and I'm the pastor of Trinity United Methodist Church. I'd love for you to tune in to a daily broadcast called Pastor's Pulse Point. It's a devotional moment that lasts about 10 minutes, a great way to start your day in God's Word. It's on Channel 7 at 8 and 9 o'clock in the morning. Tune in.
And welcome back to Kaleidoscope. I'm your host, Rachel Elliott. We're here on stage at the Springer Opera House with Matthew and Ryan, who are performing in Yesterday and Today, the interactive Beatles experience.
That's right.
Good to be here.
Welcome, guys, and thanks for allowing us to interview you and take some of your precious, valuable time. I'm sure you should be rehearsing right now.
It's not that precious. We were just eating cheesesteak, so it's it's not that precious.
Well, tell us about what you're doing, and tell the folks out there what they, what would they gain from this, and
yes, Ryan, tell
what the
us.
experience
we
is
have
about.
an interactive Beatles show. It's interactive because it's audience-driven. It's audience requested. The audience picks the show every night, so it's different every night, which is awesome.
The show definitely takes on the theme of whatever the audience is that night. They might be a rock and roll crowd one night.
Okay.
They might be a folky crowd and want a lot of rubber soul requests, and it just depends. It's a lot of fun.
Do you enjoy what you do?
I would be lying out of my teeth if I said I didn't enjoy it. Being able to play places like the Springer Opera House and be able to sing the holy grail of pop music, it doesn't get any better than that. So
It's 225 songs.
it's a lot of
Yeah,
songs.
that's right.
It's taken, I'm 35, and it's taken about 30 years to learn all these songs because we started off when we were knee-high to grasshoppers and putting concerts on in our living room here in Columbus, Georgia. So it's taken some time, but we think we've got them pretty much handled now. So
That's great.
Yeah.
And you live currently here, or?
we actually live in Omaha, Nebraska. We're all
Wow.
in the center of America. So, but we travel in the nation, so it's a good place to be.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
So yeah, Columbus is kind of a homecoming for us. We actually lived here from 1982 to 1990, so a lot's changed in that time.
Definitely.
It has. It's gone from a little mill town into something a lot more cultural.
For sure.
Very cultural, yes.
Okay, well, tell me, you guys, your favorite Beatles tunes and.
Jeez, that changes probably every day, but my favorite right now has to be Dear Prudence, I think. It's pretty good. It's hard, though. It changes every day. Matt?
I would probably have to say Happiness is a Warm Gun. That's kind of my go-to Beatles song if I had to choose one, which is like choosing your favorite kid. How can you do it? But
Yeah.
if I had to choose one, I'd probably pick that because it's on my favorite Beatles album, the White Album.
But that's what's great about coming to see this show. Everybody has a favorite Beatles song and why it's their favorite Beatles song. Most of the time you get there at Yellow Submarine and Let It Be, but
right.
you get the obscure ones where we had Eleanor Rigby one time in a small town in North Carolina, and the Undertaker in the town picked Eleanor Rigby, and it was kind of funny. Yeah, the crowd when they said his name. Yeah, so we it runs the gamut. So
I mean, getting to perform the Beatles and interacting with the audience,
Yeah.
that's a very unique combination. There's got to be that element of excitement because it's almost like improv theater.
Yeah, it really
Yeah.
is, because we don't find out what songs we're playing until 5 minutes before the show, so you really don't know what you're in for. There might be a Beatles song you haven't played in 4 years, and it's like, well,
Wow.
let's see what happens here, because you can fall flat on your face at any time, but it keeps you on your toes, and it makes it interesting that way. And the show doesn't get boring for us as performers.
not at all. It would never get boring for us anyway because we're such Beatles fans. But
Well, now, given that, how do you actually rehearse? I mean, you can't rehearse 225 songs every evening, so what do you do?
It's mainly the sound check. Everybody in the band, we play kind of a round robin. You get to pick songs that you might not be sure of or that we haven't played in a while. So we just kind of test the waters before the show starts and hope that we know it when it gets there.
That's fabulous. Now, personally, what are you doing in your personal lives? You guys
well,
got
we're both
kids?
married. Yeah, I have 3 kids.
3 kids.
Yeah.
He has 3. I just have 1 2-year-old son, so he's enough for me to handle right now.
Yeah.
But this is all we do. We get to
This is our
play
job,
Beatles music
yeah.
for a living.
This is great.
Yeah.
And you're passing it on, I assume.
Oh yeah,
Definitely.
We actually have named our kids after the Beatles. My son's name is Lennon. Ryan's his name is Harrison, and then our other brother Billy named his daughter Courtney. So we kind of
Matthew's
it all
dog
down.
name is Ringo too, so we didn't forget the.
That's right.
The
So
star
we have
of
all
the
the
bunch.
bases covered now.
Wow. As long as you don't start having surgeries to look like members of
No,
the
we-
actual
see, that's-
I don't
band,
think that's
we're-
gonna
we're
happen.
good.
Yeah, we don't
soon.
really try to do that. I think we have little niches that they have just because we grew up to them and watched them and kind of idolize
Idolize them,
them.
yeah.
So we have the little things that they do, but it's not like can we talk like this? Yeah,
Right.
because it's a little
I'm glad you
campy. And, yeah. I mean, it's cool, the bands that do that, because there are people that actually just want to sit and watch bands where they look like them, but we're just not that band.
No, we're all about recreating the way it sounded on the album and giving
Yeah.
the audience that feeling they had when they listened to that song for the first time, rather
Right.
than seeing the Beatles. Because you can go see Paul McCartney and Ringo Starr in concert still. They're still here with us. We're not trying to give you the Beatles. We're just trying to give you that memory that you had tied
Right.
to those songs.
And,
Exactly.
yeah, and if you're 8 or you're 80, you're going to have a blast. There was a woman that I talked to the other night. She was 95 years old. And she says, I haven't felt this good and moved around this much in 40 years.
That's great.
So, and we get that every night. So even the little 8-year-olds that come up to us. And then,
And they know the lyrics to the
And they
songs
know-
better than we
than
do.
we
You can
do.
see them out in the audience singing along.
you
and
know,
it's
it reminds
really
us
cool.
of us. Except we didn't get to go see these kinds of bands. You know, we didn't have that kind of money. We were putting on these concerts in our living room. So,
I think it
but
only
now
cost
we
a
get
quarter to see us then, though.
I think it might have been a quarter.
Yeah, so from your living room to
The Springer
To the
Opera
State
House.
Theater.
Yeah.
It's pretty amazing.
that's great. That's
Who would have
quite
ever
a climb.
thought we would have come from our little house here in Fort Benning, and
Fort
now we're
Benning, okay.
now we're here on this beautiful stage. It's unlike any other place in America. It's amazing.
Well, looking forward to hearing some of your music. We'll be back after these messages.
All right, this is Blackbird.
Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life you were only waiting for this moment to arise. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these sunken eyes and learn to see. All your life you were only waiting for this moment to be free. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly into the light of the dark black night. Blackbird fly, blackbird fly into the light of the dark black night. Blackbird singing in the dead of night. Take these broken wings and learn to fly. All your life you were only waiting for this moment to arise. You were only waiting for this moment to arise, yeah. You were only waiting for this moment to arise.
Watch Focused on East Alabama Monday nights at 7:30 p.m. on EATV Channel 7.
Welcome back to Kaleidoscope. So Paul, tell us about the current show.
Well, we've got 2 more weeks of the interactive Beatles experience, yesterday and today, and we'll close that show on the 16th. So there will be a matinee tomorrow at 2:30, and that'll finish up this week, and then we've got next Thursday, Friday, and Saturday.
Okay.
You know, one of the things that really caused me to be very, very interested in bringing this show to Columbus and collaborating with these great artists is that when I saw them last year in Florida, I had a very personal experience here, and I have to say there was a point at which it brought tears to my eyes, because I realized that I was seeing something that live audiences never saw. Right. While the Beatles were performing and while the Beatles were still together. We're hearing music in this show that no audience ever heard live. Because of course, because of safety problems, the Beatles stopped touring and did the great body of their work in the studio, and they just couldn't be exposed to crowds like they were when they first started. And so all of the orchestration and the depth of the music and the creativity that these musical geniuses brought together in this one form in the studio, we're hearing live. And it's one of the most moving entertainment experiences I've ever had. And that's one of the reasons why I really wanted to share that with our audiences here, so that they could have that experience. It hits you. It hits you while the show is going on. My goodness, I'm actually hearing music from Abbey Road that's fully orchestrated. All of the levels and pieces of the vocalizations and harmonies are there, and it's so well done, so well crafted, that you realize I'm actually hearing something quite unique and quite new. It never has happened before, but it's happening right here on the Springer stage right now.
And who is responsible for bringing them here? Is it you?
Well, well, yes, but I'm just the guy that made the phone call. One of the things that I could tell when I got to know these great musicians for the first time in Florida was that it's more than just bringing a group of creative people to Columbus and handing the stage over to them. The most important part to me, because I'm an actor and director, is that there's a spirit of collaboration between us and these fine artists. And I think that our collaborative experience together has made audiences gain something beautiful and wonderful. And I don't know, you would have to ask them, but I would say that it's been a special experience for these artists as well. Right.
It's very unique. You don't get a interactive musical experience like that in a theater.
Well, that's right. And a lot of things like this set. This is a scenic design by Jeff Weber, a wonderful scenic designer that we like working with. And there are also projections, video, and still photographs that are incorporated into the show as part of the experience, and it adds to the depth of that experience.
It's great. It's just great. Now, tell our viewers again the information they need in order to make that call, get the tickets.
Well, they need to call our box office at 706-327-3688 or go online to springeroperahouse.org and click on the ticket link. We'll be running this show through the 16th of March, and it's a good time for all. If you love great music, and if you love to see inspired artists on stage working together to entertain a crowd, this is the place to be.
Any plans of bringing them back in the future?
We'll see. We love these performers, and we've had a good time with them. One of the things that I have to say is for folks that might be interested in what's happening in the 13-14 season here at the Springer Opera House is there's a show called Rave On, and believe it or not, these are the same musicians that perform Rave On, and it's a Buddy Holly show. And we'll be doing that in October of this year, and we'll have this crowd back together again, and we'll do a fresh collaboration.
Thank you, Paul, for having us here and being on this episode of Kaleidoscope. And that's it for this week's Kaleidoscope. Join us next week.
This one's Norwegian Wood off of Rubber Soul. Had a girl, or should I say, she once had me. She showed me her room, isn't it good, Norwegian wood. She asked me to stay and she told me to sit anywhere. So I looked around and I noticed there wasn't a chair. Sat on her rug, biting my time, drinking her wine. We talked until 2, and then she said, it's time for bed. She worked in the morning and started to laugh. I told her I didn't and crawled off to sleep in the bath. And when I awoke, I was alone. This bird had flown. So I lit the fire. Isn't it good, Norwegian wood?